And we are recording.
Good show.
Wonderful. Hi, Caroline.
Hi, Steve.
We've already said hello, but say hello for the recording anyway.
Yep.
Okay, so you responded to the post I put out, asking for people who might like to come on a call and get a call in exchange for recording it and putting it out publicly. Yeah?
I did, yes.
Okay, so this isn't going out live. This is going out as this is a recording, and we'll put it out afterwards. The reason for that is just in case that anything does come up in this call that you'd rather people didn't know about publicly. We can always kind of edit stuff out, but ideally, if we can help, if we can do it, I'd like to not edit these calls at all and have them just.
I'm happy. Whatever comes up, let it come up. I've got nothing to hide. Wonderful.
Okay. Brilliant. So obviously over Messenger, you gave me a brief outline of what this was about, just to kind of see if I thought I could help you. And we had a bit of a chat, and yeah, I think this is an interesting thing to show perhaps other people are feeling the same way.
For sure.
And, so if you just want to kind of just go through again what it was that, why you reached out to me, what it is that you're dealing with, and then we'll just dive in and see where it goes.
Cool. So as you know, I'm a qualified coach and therapist, and I don't seem to be able to get to where I need to be in terms of my business, because I just feel like I'm blocked. I don't know if it's a self-belief thing. I don't know if it's a self-sabotage thing. I don't know what it is. And it doesn't really make sense to me, because I see myself as an accomplished person who's always been able to do anything they put their mind to. I've overcome a lot of stuff in my life, and, gone places a lot of people wouldn't have gone, and come from places a lot of people haven't been, perhaps. So it doesn't make sense to me that I'm not able to fully put myself out there in the perspective of standing, what I like to call, in the arena, and not caring what people think. Just standing. I mean, I'm authentic, let's not misunderstand that, but I've still got this fear of judgments and this fear of fully being seen as who I am, which I think might be holding me back. So it doesn't make any sense, because my life is an open book. Who I am is an open book. So this fear, this lack of self-belief, this imposter syndrome, perhaps, it doesn't make sense to me.
Okay. So just from a business perspective, you know who you serve, you know what you're doing. You've got all that clear.
All that's clear as crystal.
Okay. So you know what it is that you would be doing if this wasn't getting in the way. So when the judgment thing is obviously the one that leaps out at me, saying that there's some kind of fear of judgment there. But how does this stuff actually, how does this show up in your life? Is it that when you try to do things, you're getting feelings, or is it that you're not doing things that you should be doing, inverted commas?
I think that's a good question. And I don't actually know why I said judgment, because I don't, as long as I'm living my life in a decent way with integrity, it shouldn't matter what people think. I feel like this might stem from the way I've always been treated and spoken to all my life by family members.
Okay.
Right. This has just come to me now. And I mean, I could go onto a podcast now and be fully open about who I am and what I've done and where I've come from and where I hope to go. And I wouldn't really care what people thought. So I don't actually know why I said judgment.
It's interesting, isn't it? Family members. You said there about the way you've been spoken to, the way you've been treated by family members.
Yeah.
You don't need to tell me who they are, but specific people in general?
Specific people, yes.
Specific people. Okay. So if you think about those people and what they said, the feelings come up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So the feeling that comes up when you think about those people, what is that feeling?
I think it's, I'm going to have to think about that for a minute. The feelings that come up. You see, the one person is no longer in my life.
Okay.
But I've had exposure to them in the recent past, and I was triggered in just the same way I was way back when. I think the feelings that come up is feeling powerless. Yes,
Okay.
powerless.
Yeah.
Feeling judged.
Okay.
Feeling not good enough. Feeling inferior. Yes, that's it.
Do you think, I mean, just go with the gut feeling here. Do you think that could be linked to the problems that you're experiencing?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. I just want you, if you're okay, I just want you to, first of all, let's do something just in case anyone's watching on and they're kind of going through this as well, because sometimes people kind of borrow this stuff. So the first thing we're going to do, let's just get in the zone for this. Okay. So we're just going to do a simple breathing exercise. This is the place that we're going to go at any point during this call. If you start to feel overwhelmed or start to get that you're unhappy, you know this stuff. You've worked as a therapist, but I'm just going to reiterate it. So at any point, if you start to feel any kind of unwanted emotions, any kind of overwhelm, I want you to go to what I call the 7-11 breathing, simple breathing exercise. And we're just going to take 3 really deep breaths, belly breaths, with the out breath being about 1.5 to 2 times as long as the in breath. So we're going to go in and long out. And again. Okay. And one more time. Just feel that relaxation as you breathe out. There we go. Okay. So at any point, if I say to you, just breathe through this, that's what I want you to do. Okay. Just brings your system back down. Won't go into why. It just, you know why already. Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Right. So I want you to bring this person that you brought up, this person, bring that person to mind, bring some of the things to mind that they might have said to you, and tell me how that feeling shows up. Where do you feel it?
In my chest.
In your chest. Okay. Can you describe what that feeling is like?
It feels like I've got a rock sitting there.
Like a rock sitting there.
That's preventing me from moving forward.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to act this out, okay? And I want you, with your hands, to reach in and just pull that rock out to the space in front of you. Actually act it out with your hands. Pull that rock out into the space in front of you. Okay? And with your mind's eye, look at it and tell me what it's like.
It's a horrible, crusty, moldy rock full of mildew and moss, and it's very ugly.
Okay. All right. Because this is a rock that your mind has created as a representation, you can change that rock. So what would you do to it to change it, to make it better?
Well, I would visualize something coming in, perhaps a white beam of light coming down that's going to kind of take the top layer of that stone off.
Okay, just allow that to happen.
Okay.
Just take as long as you need and just allow that process to happen.
Okay, done.
Okay. Describe that rock now.
It's white like a crystal. It's iridescent.
Iridescent. Okay. Is there anything else that you'd like to do with it?
With the rock?
Mm.
For some reason, I want to put my hands on it.
Okay, you go ahead and do that.
So I'm putting my hands on it and stroking it and telling it that it's okay.
Mm-hmm. And what's happening?
Well, apparently the rock feels a lot happier now.
Wonderful.
And it's really, it's bringing all its colors forth.
Okay. Fantastic. This is really good. Okay. Is there anything else?
No, the rock's just sat there doing what rocks do, quite happy.
So I like to think when you make a change like this, you can have a choice, really. You can either decide to put it down, or you could decide to put it back where it came from in the way that it is now. What would you like to do?
Put it back where it came from in the way that it is now.
Okay, so just
all iridescent and crystal and pretty. Yeah, it can go back there.
Just allow that to happen then.
Okay.
Okay. Bring that person to mind again. Tell me what's different.
They seem to be a lot smaller and a lot less powerful.
Okay.
Almost as if they've been, for some reason, the word that's coming to mind is deauthorized.
Deauthorized.
Is that a word?
I don't know, but it can be a word. It can be a word. Okay. Think of a time when that person said something to you. Tell me what that's like.
Well, that wasn't nice. There was a lot of times like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it made me feel less than. And it made me feel, as I said before, inferior.
Okay.
And it made me feel like I was never going to be good enough.
Okay. What about now?
Ah, hell no. It doesn't have that power anymore. I said it, that was a Freudian slip. They don't have that power anymore.
Okay.
They should never have had that power.
No. You gave them the power.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
Is there anybody else?
Yeah, there's other people that have made me feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
One person needs to carry the blame for that, but the other people don't, because the other people that make me feel that way are not to blame.
Not to blame.
Because I'm projecting that feeling onto them. But the people I'm referring to now, which is separate from the other one I'm referring to,
mm-hmm.
That was a perception projection, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I've made them the enemy and they aren't the enemy.
Okay, that's interesting.
Kind of sad.
Okay. So the person who is that you said was to blame, is this a different person to the one that created the rock?
This is a different person, but I think that they were the extension of the original person.
Okay. So if you bring them to mind, what comes up?
It's kind of a different feeling because I was a child then.
Okay.
And the only thing I feel for that person now, unfortunately, I was going to say contempt, but that's too strong an emotion. It's too strong a word. I would say now I just feel pity for them.
Okay. And this was when you were a child.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a particular scene that comes to mind when you were a child, or of when they said something or did something?
Yeah.
Okay. And what did you as the child feel about that and take from that?
I felt unimportant.
Okay. Just close your eyes for a moment. Okay. And I want you to, you're going to know how to do this straight away, but I want you to just imagine just floating up out of where you're sitting and looking back at that earlier version of you. And I want you to just go to that scene as you are now and just drop down into that scene and let me know when you're there.
Okay, I'm there.
Okay. And I just want you to let that young version of you, that young Caroline, just let her know, just tell her everything that she needs to know. Everything that she needs to hear.
Okay, I think I've done that now.
Okay, how does she feel now?
She feels as if there's hope.
As if there's hope.
Hmm.
Okay. Is there anybody else in that scene?
No, just the person that created this.
Okay. Is there anything that you feel that you, as the adult Caroline, needs to say to that person?
Yeah.
Okay. I want you to have that conversation as well. Okay.
Hmm.
And then tell me how that scene is different now.
It's different in that the little girl that I once was knows that she will go forward in life in ways that add value to the world, not in ways that detract from it.
Mm. Is that new?
I think it's new for her, yes, in that moment,
Mm-hmm.
because she could quite easily have followed a very different path, but she chose not to.
Mm-hmm.
So on some level, she must have known that her life was going to be one that she could one day be proud of.
Mm. Okay. So if you feel that things have changed for that little girl, that younger version of you, by extension, how does that change who you are now?
It changes who I am now because I know that I have the power. I know that I have the tools. I know that I don't have to be what is handed to me and make it a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Mm.
So I know that I can create what I want to create without fear of what once held me back, I suppose.
Tell me about being blocked now.
I feel like there's a flow now, kind of from my heart center, that feels a bit weird because it's not something that I've created consciously. When you asked me the question, I immediately felt like there's a force, almost like a beam of light that's coming out now.
Okay. What does that mean?
I think what it means is that once unblocked, you don't ever need to be blocked again.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you
There's
think
a lot of power there, isn't there?
Think this changes things?
Oh, yeah. It changes things. I think it is a profound realization that the only person getting in my own way now is myself.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas before it was other people that were preventing me from doing what I needed to do. Now, if I don't do what I need to do, the only person who's going to be preventing that is me.
Mm-hmm. That's quite a profound change, isn't it?
Mm. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It is.
Okay. So let's try something. Let's have a bit of fun with this. I want you to just close your eyes.
Okay.
And I want you to imagine a time machine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Whatever that might mean for you, whether that's a blue box or whether it's a DeLorean that does 88 miles an hour, or whether it's brass and wheels and spinning things in a full HG Wells kind of thing, or maybe it's just a doorway. Just imagine a time machine. And I want you to go to that time machine in your mind, and I want you to set the controls for that machine to a point in the future where you have achieved everything you want to achieve. You might not know exactly what that date is, but at some level you'll know. And I want you to operate the machine, get in it, travel through it, whatever, and find yourself at that point in the future. Let me know when you're there.
Okay.
Okay. So as you come out of the machine, notice that look around you and notice that in the distance there is a figure. And you move towards that figure, and as you do, that figure moves towards you, and there's a realization. You know who this is. You know who this is. This is you. This is this future version of you.
Mm.
And take a look at her and notice what she's like, and then realize that she has something to say to you. The one thing that you need to hear right now, today. Okay. And I want you to have that conversation with her. Let her tell you the thing that you need to hear right now. Okay. There we go. And then just allow her. She's got some other people she wants to bring in. I don't know who they are. But those other people are going to come in and they each have something to say to you or to give to you. Let each one of them speak. And when you're done, you can return to your time machine. You can come back to this moment and open your eyes.
Okay.
Do you want to share what it was that you learned?
Mm-hmm. She said to me, you had the power within you all along.
Mm-hmm. You had the power within you all along.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How does that feel?
Well, it feels empowering.
Does it feel true?
Yeah, it does feel true. Yeah, it does. It totally feels true.
Okay. Which is a very different conversation to the one that we've had up to now.
Very different.
Okay. Out of interest, who were the other people?
My mother and my ex-husband.
Okay. Cool. Is there anything else that you want to deal with?
I don't think so, because I feel like power's within me now.
Say that again.
I feel like the power's within me now.
The power is within me now.
Mm.
Okay.
And I think it matters. I think it matters that people may consciously know that the power's within them. But if the subconscious or the unconscious doesn't realize that, then that's how those blocks get there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm coming out with some stuff that's just really coming out of its own accord.
Okay.
I think the only stumbling blocks I had left was this one. To get out of my own way and to realize that pretty much you create your own destiny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, not pretty much. You do create your own destiny.
You do create your own destiny.
Mm.
Wonderful. Do you feel that's enough?
I think I need to sit with it for a while.
Okay.
I think I need to sit with it for a while and let it develop.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm suddenly going to become a fully healed version of what I need to be around this right now. But I feel like once I sit with it and once I go more deeply inward, I probably will.
Mm-hmm.
And if I don't, then you're there.
I'll be interested to see what comes from this, because Because it seems like from what I can see, it seems like something has changed.
It has. It has. Something has changed. And I think more than anything, it's a profound realization that I've been doing myself a disservice as well.
Mhm.
But we do the best we can with what we have in any given moment.
We do.
And now that I know better, I can do better.
Wonderful. Okay. Well, thank you for doing this.
Thank you for creating the space and the skill for me to do it.
But I mean, perhaps to somebody who is looking on and, that doesn't have experience working as a therapist or as a coach, some of this might seem a little bit kind of weird. Obviously, we've shortcut some stuff.
Yeah.
Because I've relied on the fact that you already knew what you were doing to a large degree.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think it's been a good demonstration of how we can work on things, how we can approach stuff without necessarily having to actually dig down and talk about all of that stuff, which is one of the things I wanted to show here, that you don't need to spend years and months in therapy to deal with stuff. Sometimes it's just a case of shifting how we feel about it in the moment.
Absolutely. And I think sometimes years of therapy can do nothing. And I know that because I had years of therapy with a psychologist that didn't even pick up that I had ADHD.
Right. Oh, there we go. Okay, well, thank you very much. And obviously, let me know how things change. I will be watching.
I will definitely keep in touch with you. And obviously we are connected anyway, and I'm sure that we will remain so and do further work together in the future as and when the need arises. Wonderful. So thank you.
No, thank you for being part of this.
Thank you very much, Steve.
Thanks, Caroline.
Take care. Speak soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.